moves on. Leenock starting as the red Zerg player at the bottom of the map, at the bottom of Antigua Shipyard.
And his opponent, an up-and-coming Terran who has not quite proven himself in the big leagues just yet, is Hoso jjakji.
I was really disappointed with Leenock in that first game. So
Yes.
I mean, that was just embarrassing, and Leenock must be like, okay, this is definitely not how I wanted to play today, and I want to show now that I'm really all that good, that I belong to the Codas, and that I'm able to put up a fight. So I expect a lot from Leenock this game. The last, well, that Hellion attack, that just can't be it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. Leenock and jjakji, they actually were in the same group together in Codas October, and they ended up playing twice, one in the first game and one in the final match, and jjakji was the one who eliminated Leenock from that group. So these guys have some history. So yeah, Leenock not only has to prove himself against his loss to Ganji earlier, but he has to prove himself that he can beat this newbie jjakji who's trying to push his way into his spot in the tournament.
So Leenock has a couple of reasons why he should really give his best right now. He has to prove to us that he's able to participate in that tournament after that embarrassing loss against Ganzi. But, well, as he was eliminated by jjakji earlier, as Moltrap already mentioned, Leenock has another reason, so it's payback time right now. We have a Zerg versus Terran, and the Terran player already has one SCV in the main base of his opponent. Check out the gas and the pool as well as the expansion. We have the factory coming up and the reactor, and I bet that Leenock will be able to deal with those Hellions a lot better than he did last game, but he will lose an Overlord, and that is really annoying. And I have to give credit to jjakji for actually scouting that position and trying to catch that Overlord, and this is huge. In the early stage of the game, as a Zerg player, you really don't want to lose this Overlord because it will mess up all your timings. You will lose not only those 100 supply, you will also lose that lava, and early on every single lava counts. jjakji is of course really happy right now. Killing that Overlord is a huge deal in the early stages. He's expanding behind that factory with the reactor, so we have that Hellion, Hellion expansion.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's have a look at what's going to happen for Leenock now.
No, you're exactly right. That is actually really big to lose that Overlord. It stops your drone production for a little while. And now we see, now that he's gotten more Overlords out, he's able to get some more drones out that he wanted to get a little bit earlier. Now, it's not going to, luckily it happened at a moment where he was just getting his upgrades, he was getting his spine crawler down, so he's not going to be in too horrible of a position. He's just going to be a little bit behind, but it's definitely something you want to avoid. So jjakji taking an early, and like you said, I really got to hand it to him for doing that. Going over to the normal Overlord scouting location and picking it off, very smart. And a blue flame upgrade going on for the Hellions, very interesting.
Yeah, really soon into the game, and here are those Hellions, but there's one spine crawler already. Always trying to take out the huge one. Not able to kill it, but still. Yeah, with that spine crawler he needs to be careful, because if there are enough Hellions in the mix, then a run by is fairly easy for the Terran player, and as you already were told by Moltrap, there's a blue flame Hellion upgrade coming up, so if there are a lot of Hellions, for example like 6 to 8, and they're just running by that spine crawler, he will lose a lot of drones, and that would be horrible for him, so he needs a little bit more protection in the back, maybe just put an evolution chamber into the right spot in order to prevent those Hellions from running behind the mineral patches. And jjakji is playing a little bit risky right now with that Hellion pressure that he's dealing to Leenock. He's getting another expansion, he's getting another orbital command.
Now, here's the thing about the Blue Flame Hellion upgrade in this matchup. Now, since the patch 1.4, with the decrease in the damage of the Blue Flame upgrade, it still takes the same amount of hits to kill a drone with Hellion. So that is not effective. What is affected is that with the Blue Flame upgrade, Hellions will kill Zerglings in only 2 shots. So if you have a clump of Hellions, they melt Zerglings so quickly, and sometimes Zerg players get a little bit greedy and they try and just deal with Hellions with only Zerglings, and just they'll take one Spine Crawler, try and deal with it that way. So Leenock might get caught a little bit off guard by these 5 Bluefin Hellions, although his SimCity is very good. He's got his door blocked really well, so I don't know if he's going to be able to do any damage right now.
That is exactly what we've been talking about earlier. He placed down that Evolution Chamber, but not only the Evo Chamber, also that Macro Hatch is in a really good position, as is the Baneling Nest at the back of the minerals. So Leenock with some very nice building placement in order to prevent those Hellions from dealing a lot of damage. Now moving the Spine Crawlers to the front of the ramp. Really, really well done by Leenock so far. He's at 65 supply, as is his opponent, getting the +1 armor upgrade for his ground units. And the Terran player now switching to tanks. So after those Blue Flame Hellions and the according upgrade, he is now researching the siege mode for his tanks, getting Tank Marine. And he is on 2 bases right now, but the 3rd base, as we've already mentioned, is completed. He already upgraded the orbital command in order to make use of this 1 additional mule, and now we have, after Latech was finished, a lot of upgrades for Berserk play as well, getting Burrow and the Baneling speed.
Yeah, and critically, Leenock is getting his Spire right now because he needs that. He needs something to deal with those Blue Flame Hellions. You can't deal with them with only Zerglings. It's just not possible. So he needs either Roaches or the Spire Tech is going to be something that's going to enable him to deal with those Hellions, so he can move out and try and secure his 3rd base. And actually, the Zerglings snuck out when the Hellions weren't looking, and they're going to meet some Marines, though, and some of them are going to meet their deaths. And he's forced to turn around. No counterattack available for Leenock.
The thing is that Terran player already has 3 bases, while the Zerg is still stuck on 2, which is kind of a situation that you want to avoid if you're a Zerg player. You always want to be at least on even bases, but you should be 1 base ahead, especially when it's 2 base against 2 base. You want to get that 3rd base earlier than your opponent. And with those Hellions, jjakji, killing a lot of Zerglings, despite the amount. Oh, will he be able to take out those as well? That would be huge, and he's killing a lot of them. The Hellion dies eventually, but still, that one was definitely worth its money. So we have the Terran player, as I already mentioned, on 3 bases. He has a really good economy going. He can get all those upgrades. He can get additional production structures. And Leenock trying to get that 3rd base, but he's in a really tough situation right now. Trying to attack with the Zerglings, but there are Marines as well.
The tanks get caught unprotected, though. The Marines out of position. All of the tanks go down to Zergling fire. Trying to take out that turret as well really quickly to stop his Mulus from being attacked, but that was actually huge. There are now no siege tanks, or very few siege tanks, as part of that defense. And so now jjakji has to play a little bit more defensively, so Leenock can kind of catch up in economy. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take a 4th base not too long from now.
To be honest, with all those turrets already in the mix and the Marines as well getting combat shield, the +1 upgrade has already been researched for the attack, and the +2 coming up. I think that jjakji is fine. He has to pay attention to those Banelings, but not too many of them are actually hitting their mark.
That was a little bit strange. Leenock running Banelings up to the tanks and burrowing them next to them, next to a turret. Exactly.
Like what?
I was like, well, I'm not sure what he was going for there. But a little bit of a prod by Leenock, just losing some forces. Trying to catch jjakji before he really gets his defenses up too strongly. And again, running with more Zerglings here. So instead of taking a 4th, Leenock is just being very aggressive here, actually.
I have to admit that I didn't see that attack coming, because I would have expected jjakji to build at least a turret at the rocks, or well, maybe place a unit down there. That he lost so many SCVs just with a simple Zergling run by is a little bit weird. That shouldn't have happened. He's still ahead in supply, 133 against 120, and he's getting a lot of upgrades. He certainly can afford it, but with the towers gone, he needs to deal with those Mutalisks first, and this is going to be a tough spot, but Leenock getting that 4th base right now. Getting that 4th base at the bottom of the map, the +1 attack upgrade for the Mutalisks. I still have to say, jjakji is looking pretty good, even though he made a few mistakes in that game already. He has a lot of production facilities, he has some good upgrades, a decent economy. So the Terran player is he's able to take that game. He just needs to exactly time his attack and get a 4th base at the same time.
Well, he just put down 5 more barracks, and he's putting reactors on some of them right now. He is going to just start producing so many units. He's already up 30 supply at 160. He's going to be maxed in less than 2 minutes, I bet, with all of the production he has right now. And so we're probably going to see him move out at that point. I'm not even sure if he's going to try and get a 4th base. He might just try and power units off these 3 bases and push out. And of course, depending on how that battle goes, he may take a 4th afterwards. But jjakji is like really, really strong right now.
Yeah, he got the 3rd base really early in the game, and that's helped him out quite a lot. So he's making good use of that economy that he had for a long time now. And yeah, we have the +3 attack upgrade coming up. +2 is already done, as is the +1 armor, and he is really ahead in upgrades. 176 against 174 supply. The Zerg player trying to do a run by and getting into the main base with those mutalisks, but not really all that successful. There is also a sensor tower that helps out quite a lot.
Yeah, definitely. If those mutalisks get anywhere nearby, he can see their location. And, okay, yeah, we do have that 4th base being built right now.
Ooh,
I'm really surprised.
I like it.
What's that?
Thors.
Ah, there we go. I was wondering what he was going to do about the possibility of the counterattack, because when he moves out, the mutalisks can just run into the main if they want. He's engaging the Marines directly, though. This might not be a good idea. Zergling's coming in as well, and he's forced to retreat. Loses a lot of Zerglings there.
The thing with the Thors is that well, a lot of Koreans actually get those Thors really, really late, and the mutalisks will be able to focus down single tanks, but at that point they will clump up. So if you have 1 or 2 Thors in the mix as well, that will help you quite a lot. You don't only have to rely on your Marines, but you will also have the Thors in the mix to deal with the mutalisks. And they are trying to get into the main of jjakji, aren't they? But thanks to the sensor tower, he is aware of that situation. He wants to sandwich him. Here we go.
He's aware of it, but I don't know if he can do much about this. Oh, okay, it does force Leenock back around. And so jjakji's push is going to continue. There's a huge army. Maxed army versus maxed army is going to happen here. And Leenock is not deciding to go and counterattack with his mutalisks. He's keeping them around here to try and pick off tanks. Beautiful snipe on 2 tanks.
And that's something that shouldn't happen with Thors, because if you have the Thor in a proper position, then at least a bunch of mutalisks will take a lot of damage when they try to snipe down tanks. But here are the Banelings. +3 attack upgrade, by the way, for the Marines should be done by now. A lot of Banelings. Will he be able to split his Marines, or will the Banelings take out the ground units of the Terran player? This will be a crucial situation. There we go.
I think he's waiting for about 10 more seconds for +3 weapons, +2 armor to finish, and then we're probably going to see jjakji go for the attack, but he's not going to wait for him to happen. Zerglings and Banelings coming in. No, he does fall back. Too much tank fire, but Leenock's coming in from behind as well. He's going in for a pincher attack, but he's only attacking one side. Now joining in from the other side, an ill-coordinated attack by Leenock throws away half of his army.
I really love the focus fire by jjakji. He managed to pick off nearly all of those Banelings with the tanks. Really well done by the Terran player. Leenock is struggling right now. He's taking to the Hive upgrade and at the same time researching pathogen glands, getting the +2 armor upgrade. But with 3 attack upgrades on the Marines and +2 armor already, jjakji is in a really good position. He's killing all those Zerglings. He has the upgrade advantage and he's making good use of it. But here are all those Banelings taking out tanks and Thors alike in combination with all those Zerglings. jjakji has to be careful, but still he is 50 supply ahead and is just researching everything in order to strengthen his bio army, getting another base as well, trying to get his 4th. Really well played by jjakji so far. And Leenock is, even though he's on 4 bases, he's in a bit of trouble. He's struggling against the Terran player.
Yeah, this is definitely a struggle. I mean, jjakji, he's almost maxed again. Leenock has not been able to replenish his army as much. He actually doesn't have any drones at the 6-clocker. He didn't a little while ago. So his economy is actually not terribly strong. jjakji's economy is much stronger right now. And so that's why we saw Leenock behind. Of course, Leenock did just throw away a lot of his army. I'm really surprised he didn't coordinate that attack better.
The thing is that jjakji is going for Ghost right now and is putting down a second sensor tower as well. He already researched the +3 armor upgrade, and even though Leenock is not only getting the greater spy upgrade, but Adrenal Glance as well, I have to admit that jjakji basically has an answer to every threat that Leenock could throw against him, even before Leenock thinks of it. Because those ghosts will be huge against Brood Lords as well as against the Infestors, and if jjakji has a decent control with those EMPs and the snipes, then Leenock will have a hard time of killing his opponent. But there are a lot of Bailings. Is he going to take out?
Oh, so many SCVs dying, and the planetary goes with it. Perfect control by Leenock, making it so the explosions killed the units and the building at the same time. And look at that, defending that 6 o'clock base barely as well. Leenock turning things around. That was pretty disgusting.
Yeah, but at the same time, he lost a lot of resources.
Yeah.
I mean, those Bailings really did a number on jjakji, but you have to remember that they are horribly expensive if you throw them away like that. It takes 19 Bailings to kill and Planetary Fortress, and jjakji is already at 185 supply again against 159, and nice EMP, but only killing the energy of one Infestor. There's a second EMP, and the snipes as well. Nice control by jjakji right there, taking out that base of Leenock, and Leenock is losing Infestors and drones alike down to 133 supply. Borrowing the drones, very nice, I like it a lot, but we have no scan by jjakji. I think he missed that.
Yeah, he might not have been paying attention in that moment, and that's what Leenock wanted to make him think, oh, I killed all those drones already. But, so this is the last flight of Leenock. He's got 7 Broodlords moving out onto the map, and this is his last attempt at getting back into this game. He's been behind in supplies so consistently, and he's just lost his 4th base at the 6 o'clock position. It's not, as you can see, it's not there anymore. He is only mining for this 3rd base right now, whereas jjakji's economy is still booming. He still has the gold base. Well, he's going to retake the gold base right now. So Leenock's got to basically win the game with these Broodlords, or he's done.
I have to admit that if jjakji doesn't make any big mistakes right now, there's no way he can lose the game. He already has 12 ghosts, and with some decent snipes, he will be able to take out those Broodlords. He has Vikings as well. So unless jjakji is like really mismicroing his army and his ghosts, he should be able to take this game. He's 50 supply ahead still, and here we go, the tanks sieging up, and there are those snipes taking out the first couple of Broodlords. Really well done by jjakji and Leenock. This is so hard for him. It's really hard for him to engage that Terran army. The Möbius reactor is being researched as well, and there's just nothing he can do at that point in time. He doesn't have the army to throw against the Terran forces.
Yeah. Yeah, and what he needs to do, he needs to control those Broodlords a little bit better as well. He was letting the Vikings take some free hits. Even though he had Corruptors right there, they were kind of falling back. That's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, jjakji is just in such a strong position. Beautiful snipes there, and Leenock just doesn't have enough of everything to deal with what jjakji has. jjakji is maxed. He's going to have 2,000 minerals in the bank and 1,000 gas here, so he can replenish very quickly as well. And by the way, I want to correct myself. This is the newer version of the map where the gold bases that were previously gold on this map are no longer gold. I apologize for that. Here we might have the final battle. Leenock needs to play this perfectly. Huge fungal on the Medevacs and the Marines, but will it be enough? Snipes going down on all the Broodlords. The Broodlords being transfused, but everything dying so quickly to the concentrated Marine fire. And GG, Leenock forfeits the game. jjakji has taken a very important win over an extremely strong Zerg player, and Leenock still remains in a situation where he has never beaten jjakji in a tournament game.
And that is I mean, that win was basically because jjakji was able to get away with that greedy play of his. He put some early pressure onto Leenock by building those Blue Flame Hellions and managed to contain the Zerg player in his main base while getting a 3rd base himself. So he had an early advantage in economy. He had 3 bases against 2. That's a situation you don't want if you are a Zerg player. And he was able to get ahead not only in supply but also in tech and upgrades. And therefore Leenock in a really tough spot at the later stages of the game. He just tried to get enough upgrades and the tech that he needed But at the point that the Brood Lords got out and could enforce, well, basically, basically put some pressure on the Terran play, he already had those Ghosts. And those Ghosts countered the Brood Lords brilliantly in combination with the Vikings. So, yeah, jjakji, after that early economy lead, is just on top of his game, made a few small mistakes. Remember that one Zergling run by, where he lost a lot of SCVs at his third. But in total, jjakji just with a really, really solid play. Leenock maybe a little bit too passive in the early stage of the game. Might should have gone ferocious in order to deal with those Hellions earlier and being able to take his third earlier as well. But in the end,
yeah, those Hellions, those Blue Flame Hellions made him, delayed his third base so long. He just couldn't move out on the map at all until he got Mutalisks, basically. He couldn't take his third until he had Mutas almost. So Leenock just got way behind there. So he is going to be in 0-2 position. Virtually impossible for Leenock to make it out of this group. I want to make a correction, by the way. I actually was reading the stats wrong. It was the other way around. Leenock actually eliminated jjakji from Codes, not the opposite. So I'm sorry for saying that completely wrong. So it was actually jjakji that got some revenge against Leenock just now, not the other way around. So that is going to do it for our first 5 games, but it is not over yet. We have 3 players tied at 1-1, vying for that second place spot, and of course, any of them could easily win the rest of the games and overtake Don Ragu as well. So we're going to find out what is going to happen to the rest of these matches. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Go ahead and go on Twitter and add me. I'm at Moltrap. Kaldor is at Kaldor. Is that with an H? Is it KH? Or
yeah, exactly.
KHALDOR. So go ahead and tell us what you think of the game so far and what you think is going to happen in the rest of the games in the next 5 minutes before we come back and watch the rest.